GM, welcome to Noun O'Clock at the Noun Square. I know that song was a bit weird, but it's literally an original song by someone on YouTube called Dark Factory, so it seemed pretty fitting for today's noun. If you didn't see yesterday's noun that we minted for today's auction, it's a pretty clean Dark Factory that we kind of Stone Age FOMO'd yesterday, by which I mean everybody yelled and said, "This is awesome!" And then Toady sniped it. That's how we play FOMO these days because of the bots. So, welcome everybody to the show. We've got a good one lined up here for you. We're going to be speaking with the noun rectangle on the noun square, as he likes to say. Welcome, Modrovsky. How are you this morning?
GM.
I'm
doing pretty well.
I see that you've gone old school with the yellow cardstock this morning.
A little bit of like a Hack Week Builder-esque PFP.
Oh, I see.
Whether or not I actually submit one, we'll see. But the intent is to hack this week, so I figured I might as well put the outfit on.
I love it. Looking at the auction, and I just got the shock of my life. We've got some bids coming in like crazy here at the very end. I'm not surprised because this is one of the cleanest nouns that I've seen. But we've got a little back and forth action here between several suitors. So it looks like we might get a bit of a bidding war. One of these suitors is Tortita. Tortita Trades making a play for this noun. I might be a little bit biased, but I really hope Tortita gets it. This is an awesome noun, and I'd love to see it displayed in the Nouns Museum.
Yes, is 64 going for it too?
I don't see. Well, I'm not sure actually, because let's see who's going for this right now. We've got 0x1820 with 40 ETH in his wallet. Doesn't own a noun yet, his or her wallet. 33.35 bid from 0x260F, who does have one noun. I don't have time right now to check and see who that is, but that's an existing nouner. So that could be Dorculus, if you mentioned he was vote. Did you say, was it Dorculus who was thinking of grabbing this one?
Well, we were all talking about his getting it.
Oh, yeah, that's right. Yes, that's right. I was there, yes. We were talking about...
It's such a nice couple.
Yeah, Noun 64 with the really clean white moon. We thought it would be pretty cool if you grabbed this factory and had sort of a yin and yang thing going on. But one thing's for sure, the auction is heating up. Like I can't keep up with the bids that are coming in. We have a bid coming in every 5 seconds here. Quite a battle here between Tortita, 0x1820, and another, and then that 0x260F. So it looks like 3 people actively bidding on this noun. How high can it go? What do you think, Modrovsky?
Damn, Tortita, can I borrow like 5 ETH real quick?
Yeah, right?
I don't think it's a moment.
I think what bothered me today with this noun is that everyone is saying it's the cleanest noun, and yet we have the index card here. I don't know. I felt a bit wrecked.
Yeah, shots fired for sure. But index card noun has the honor of being owned by its artist, and the only other nouns in the collection are that have that honor are in the Nounders wallets. So that's pretty cool. Tortita trades,
pretty amazing.
Tortita trades with the splash bid of 42.69. Where's Symbio? Symbio, does he get your nounish?
No, I said 42.069. Sorry, Tortita.
Oh, ouch. Are you going to be a stickler about that one if he wins this one?
No, if he comes to claim it, it's all his.
Because, but unfortunately or fortunately, we just got another bid from 260F, and I think he also re-upped his wallet. He's got 66 ETH in there. Now he's saying, I want this guy. Back off, Tortita. Tortita must really, really like this. I tried to take a look at that wallet, and I'm getting an Etherscan error. That's weird. Is Etherscan down right now? No. I'll have to talk to them at the 9 o'clock app, because
this is insane. This bidding is insane.
Tortita's re-upped the wallet too. Added a bunch of
he wants this guy. He did too. That's funny. because his suitor did the same just a minute ago. His competitor, rather. So,
Tortita, are you charging to get into the Nouns Museum? What's
right?
going on with all this ETH, homie?
Ever since Tortita started doing soapboxes on the Noun Square, now he's just balling. I'm just saying.
Dude, I don't know what he's doing.
I'm not sure. Haven't you been running a soapbox? What do you win now?
Oh yeah, dude. I mean, come on. When Nounish Toad is more like it.
Nounish Toads are pretty great. All right. Well, it looks like this auction is going to be going on for a while. So while we watch it, maybe we can just do a quick run of show and let you guys know what we're doing here. First of all, if you're just joining us, please retweet the room. It helps to get the word out about what we're doing here, and wakes people up. It's not like early in the morning, but it's still morning, and some people might be sort of still drinking their coffee and easy to forget about 9 o'clock. And then you remind them, and they say, "Oh yeah, I want to go hang with those guys. They're pretty cool." A guy can dream. So please retweet the room so that they can join us in here. And also, we will put up 0.069 ETH as a little prize, a little extra carrot for anyone that retweets the room. Someone's going to win that at the end of the show. Final PSA for the Nomo. If you're at nomo.wtf, you see this beautiful squished ketchup, or Woody insists that it's sriracha, so maybe he's correct. Either way, if it's ketchup or sriracha, you've only got until this auction ends to mint one, or it'll be gone forever. It's a 24-hour edition that started yesterday, and if you want to be entered into our lucky Nomo draw, which will be coming up here in the next minutes, then you better grab one now. After we're done with the auction, if it ever does end, then we are going to play what we call Janky FOMO. Janky FOMO is the replacement of FOMO because we haven't been able to play FOMO properly in several months because someone has been botting it so that it's unusable. So what we've done in the meantime, while we've figured out a solution with a dev, is we have just blocked the ability for FOMO to settle. So we just need to wait, watch the nouns go by helplessly for a few minutes, and then I'll be able to snipe settle from nouns.wtf based on audience reactions. So at that point, if you like a noun, you can yell out, you can use emojis, you can say, "Toady, grab it!" And we'll try our best to grab a noun. It sounds pretty janky, but hey, we got this beautiful factory yesterday with that method, so it's not all bad. Right?
I like that method personally.
We'll do it live! We'll do it live!
There we go. Exactly. It's the We Do It Live version. It's the We Do It Live version of FOMO. After FOMO, we're going to play Nomo. And one good thing about this new janky FOMO style is that we get lots of lost nouns. Not lost nouns, the collection, which Meshup is not here to talk about today. But lost nouns as in nouns that we didn't mint for the noun of the day. Nouns that will end up in the land of Nomo unless we save them. So we'll end up with probably 3 or 4 rows to choose from, and you'll be able to click, click, click until your heart is content to save the next Nomo of the day. That's all coming up. After we're done with our games, we're going to dig in and chat with Modrovsky, the index card. We're going to talk about how he was able to win the Noundry contest and get his own art, the index card, included in the Nouns collection forever, and then was able to convince his girlfriend to let him buy the noun of his own head. And by convince, I mean tell her after he'd done it. We're going to talk about all that today on the show. Ask him how his relationship is going and more. I'm not going to hold back. We also have Meshup on the show. Meshup is going to join us for a quick PSA because there's some shit that went down last night, no fault of his own, that we want to talk to him about. So that's all coming up on 9 o'clock live today. Aren't you glad you tuned in? The auction is still going cray. We got 46.69 from Tortita. He's not giving up easily. He wants this factory. He wants it bad. What do you guys think is going to happen here?
Tortita's going to get
it. I was stuck in a meeting from my apartment all morning. Oh, that's bad news. I think Tortita's going to take it home.
That's what I'm going to say. That's what I'm going to say when I'm sleeping from now on. I got stuck in a meeting in my apartment.
No, I genuinely, my apartment complex had like a meeting thing for like people who just moved in over the last couple months.
That's fun.
Yeah, it's it's fun. It was just also like I had to excuse myself, and it took forever.
Well, sometimes people just don't live their lives by 9:00, and I don't know why. I don't know why they do that. Like when your wife schedules her kinesiology appointment at 10 a.m. and you're like, really? Asking for talking about a friend here, of course.
Yeah, of course.
Anyway, so I'm joined by little Toady this morning, and if he gets unruly, then you may hear me mute for a bit because you may not want to hear what he's trying to say because he doesn't know how to use words yet. So, all right, 3 minutes and 24 seconds left on this auction for this beautiful dark factory. Let's talk about the contest. We spun up a pretty quick contest. Shout out Joshua Fisher, shout out Cairo, who got the art together for that really quickly yesterday. Threw it up for a 24-hour contest. It's almost over. And I see a bunch of people with their last minute entries flying in here now. You've got, I guess, every time there's a bid, you've got 3 more minutes to finish your art for the factory contest. And the contest was very open. It was basically what's happening in this dark factory. Let us know your story in your art style of your choosing. And we, as always, have gotten some pretty incredible, amazing pieces of art. So thank you guys always for being down to just, do contests on almost any noun at any time. It's amazing. But it's going to be hard to choose. That's the only downside.
We broke 50 ETH.
We did. It's been a while since a noun's gone for 50 ETH. Mr. Tortita Trades really banking on the aesthetics of this factory noun.
I think it's the coolest one ever.
It's pretty good. You know what? Maybe this will actually like set the path of nouns to go higher in price. It could be like a factory reset.
Let's do it.
I'm so upset that I laughed at that joke.
Wrong kind of hack week.
Hey, index card. I have the power to kick people off the stage, just FYI. I have one of those hooks. I have one of those hooks that you put around the neck.
One of the super long, like, shepherd crooks.
That's right. Although it would be really difficult to use one of those on an index card, to be fair. I feel like you'd keep missing. Well, I think what we should do is probably just jump in and get started with our guest, because God knows how long this auction could go. Tortita's like a dog with a bone here. He wants this factory bad. And the bids just keep going up and up and up, and no one's splash bidding. I thought we might get one of those. Usually in these back and forth auctions, someone sometimes gets frustrated and just raises the bid by 10 ETH or something. That hasn't happened. People just going back and forth here. So interesting. Someone should, while I'm doing this, someone should check and see who 0x260F is. They do own a noun. I was trying to check, but the Etherskin link wasn't working on Nomo for some reason. But if someone has the faculties to do that while we talk to Index Card, I'd be curious to know who that person is. Mr. Index Card, welcome to the show. I think this is your first time ever being a guest on 9 o'clock live.
Yeah, my first official time. I made a few guest appearances back when I purchased my noun in I think like October. But yeah, first time on. Good thing you guys already got your funding, because yeah, it's a good way to kill your metrics having me on.
Yeah, well, it's okay. We call these days, breaks. No, I'm just kidding. Of course, it's going to be a great one, and everyone's going to want to listen back and take notes on their index card. And actually, in all honesty, though, I think a lot of people will be interested to hear your story, because it's a pretty interesting one. Like I said, it's never happened before that anyone was able to get their own pixel art into the Nouns collection, and then actually, get the ETH together to purchase one and own it. That's a pretty cool story. So why don't you tell us a little bit about your journey? First, starting with how you got sort of into NFTs and how you came to nouns, and then we'll get into the Noundry stuff after.
Yeah, so always kind of like loosely into crypto as just like a side interest, but never made much of it. Came across Bitcoin back in like the Silk Road era. I think I was buying ETH in 2017 or so, but it was just kind of a side thing. And then like a lot of people a few years ago, NFT started coming across my radar just through my natural like Twitter follows. And slowly but surely, as I do with a lot of things, I just got completely sucked in. And when I find something I'm like pretty interested in, that's like all I'll do or care about. And so it started pretty broadly with NFTs in general a few years ago. And then I came across nouns just through following 4156, I think. And instead of NFTs, broadly speaking, nouns sort of became the thing that sucked me in. And I was a little bit of a passive participant in nouns. I would check the auctions each day, kind of marvel at the prices, and think maybe someday I can own one. But something about nouns was just really interesting to me, and that the money didn't just go to some random person that you didn't know. It kind of went to everybody in a sense. And so I just kept coming back to nouns, and I was telling people in my real life about it. And I was like, you got to check this thing out. It's kind of amazing, the concept. And then what really got me in was probably around the time FOMO came out. And it was like an easy way to kind of participate and come through into the ecosystem with like no stakes or no strings attached.
FOMO. A moment of silence for FOMO.
Yeah, I think I played the first FOMO, and I also tried to rug FOMO on like day 2 or something because I don't think it was working. But yeah, FOMO was kind of my foray.
Tell us more about this. Have you ever created a bot to mess with FOMO? Asking for a friend.
I definitely have never done it.
Okay. You're off the hook.
You got the wrong guy.
Subtle.
You're off the hook for now. All right. So you started playing around with FOMO. Thanks for that, Devin. I guess I should be thankful it wasn't the fart noise. So you started playing with FOMO, and you got hooked that way. And then how did you start getting involved with Noundry? That would have been, I guess, in July or June-ish of the last year.
Yeah, so I guess like FOMO, like the real exciting thing is, and it ties all together in some ways, the art. You start to really appreciate the art and the traits and like the different combinations. And I was just hanging out in the Discord, and then last January is actually kind of like when the concept of Noundry began. I forget who really kind of kicked it off, but a few community members who also were kind of FOMO and art appreciators like Goldie and that kind of thing started a channel in the old Discord called Noundry, and people just started putting up what they thought could be new traits or possible traits. And at first, again, kind of like with everything else, I just kind of watched from afar, and I threw like an idea or two out there, but I didn't really open up like Photoshop or try and draw my own until like 5 months later in June. And so I spent like 5 months just thinking about traits almost like daily. It became kind of like a problem. I couldn't get the thought of traits out of my head. Like you just driving around looking at everything. Is this a trait? Is that a trait? And
Ask your doctor if Noundry is right for you.
30 seconds.
Oh,
30 seconds left on this auction.
Well, cliffhanger.
It does look.
I'm just about to talk about the index card.
All right, we'll get to that right after FOMO NOMO action, because 16 seconds remaining. Looks like Tortita's top bid was indeed 50 ETH. That was his mental blockade, I guess, and it looks like it's going to go to 0x260F, who is, we've figured out, the owner of the Star Noun 568, adding the factory to his collection. Congratulations, Noun 658's new owner. And FOMO is in action. I wonder how long it'll take before the bot just gives up. It doesn't look like it's running yet, is it?
No.
I'm telling you, it must have given up somewhere along the way.
I don't trust it though.
Yeah. No, exactly. Did you guys ever read that children's book Mud Puddle? I forget who's it by, but the whole plot of the book was that this kid would go outside and everywhere he would turn, a mud puddle would run up and jump on him and get him all dirty. Anyways, it's a pretty common book here in Canada. What? That's how I feel like that's what I feel like the FOMO bot is. You know, if you look outside and there's no FOMO bot and you just go out there with brand new white clothes, the FOMO bot's going to come jump on you and get you all dirty. So, that's what I think's happening.
Some beautiful nouns running through here. I mean, they have a donut.
Oh man, look at that. That's a nice camera.
That's a monochrome. That's a black and white photo right there. Oh boy.
That's an easy one.
That would have been a nice one. We really need to figure out this contract sniping thing and bring janky FOMO to the next level. Because right now, all we can do is watch helplessly for the first 4 minutes as these beautiful nouns go by.
Do you mean the no?
So the only ask you, why 4 minutes?
I want that.
That's right.
Why
We're
do you wait
loading
4
up
minutes for?
This is called the Nomo loading. The Nomo loading phase. We're loading Nomos into the chamber for later. So just be happy. Keep an eye out. See which Nomos you may want to grab, because they can't become nouns. They were born too early for their time. You know, they were just avant-garde. All of these nouns. All right. So index card. Since we have a few minutes, why don't you tell us a little bit about the index card and how it came to be? And yeah, I'll let you know when we got to go back to FOMO sniping time.
Yeah, so I had kind of sat around on the Noundry channel for about 5 months and was just thinking of all sorts of trait ideas, writing them down, but I never really kind of pulled one off on my own, so I never submitted anything. And then one day, just sitting at my desk, the thought of the index card popped in my head, and I kind of went with it because I had already failed so many times at trying to draw other traits. I was like, finally, this is one that I probably can actually pull off. And so I just hopped into Photoshop, and I kind of already had the file all set up ready to go because I tried a few others. And pretty much kind of first shot, I drew it as it is in the collection today. I think I tweaked like the red and the blue to kind of muted them a little bit. But pretty much first shot, I kind of drew it, and I have to admit, I used a few other nouns as kind of like guidelines and templates, and I think that kind of helped me.
Would you say
recipes? The color palette. Yeah, sort of. I kind of like noun 40 and the void head. If you overlay the two, they're very, very similar in size. So that's partially my little secret, is that I drew heavy inspiration from the existing collection. And I think that might be partially, why it was selected. It kind of fit in pretty well.
Also, because
I do that
really
too.
awesome.
If I could tell you how many times I've used the cookie noun to create nouns with round heads, it's a lot. So I think that's a good little.
So thank you, Jupiter, for.
Oh wow, you really want to go max, eh? Max size.
Yep.
This is a really pixels. Nice. This would have been a great noun for February 14th, the one that we just missed there. That was a very beautiful all red everything. Anyways, continue. So you wanted to make where did you get the idea for the index card?
I don't know. I was just sitting at my desk. I didn't really own any index cards. I didn't have them on my desk or anything. Have you ever used an index card? Of course, baby. You know me.
Okay. All right.
I use my stuff every day. I'm
sorry. I didn't mean we have to ask the hard questions here, and someone had sent me a DM. They just wanted me to ask that to make sure that you weren't, a fraud.
Why won't you ask the hard-hitting questions, Toady?
That's right. It can never be said that I didn't ask index card if he's ever actually used an index card. What's your favorite thing to use index cards for?
This gets a little bit personal, but if we were like serious answers here, I do a lot of swimming. I'm mostly a swimmer in real life. And so I used to carry around like my swim workouts on an index card, or write down like my workouts. That's the real answer.
The worst thing is though, with that you write it down and then you go and you do the swimming and then you come up and you're like, oh man, what did I write here? It's all mushy.
Yeah, you can't read it, so I don't know what I was thinking. But I used to write workouts down on it. I think that they're nice because they're portable, very versatile. Big fan.
You know what else is portable? Nouns. And it's time to pick one for today. Let's go. The sniper is engaged.
Excellent transition, Toady. Fantastic.
Nouns are portable in a hardware wallet. All right, let's look for a good noun, and then we'll come back to Mr. Modrovsky and get the rest of his deep, dark secrets about why he decided to make an index card. But first, let's get today's noun in order.
I saw right there.
I saw better.
Okay.
I like this. I got.
Crosscut.
It took me a second.
Oh, that's a greasy duck.
Greasy ducky. Greasy ducky. I had to be, a little bit patient there. Grease is so OP, I almost clicked. It's really hard to resist.
I love that.
That is a clean name.
Noun in the winter.
Can I just say, I know we're not dealing with the bot, but it's actually insane to me that somebody spent any amount of time trying to bot fomonouns. Like, why?
I know. I mean, I hope this is the best case scenario, that they just did it and then set it up and forgot about it, or just went on and moved on. Maybe they don't.
But like, how bored do you have to be to do that?
Well, that can't be the case, though, because it played with us. It literally would go a couple of votes above what they knew we were voting.
Is the bot in the room with us right now?
Blink. Blink if you see it.
It's probably Rocco taking over the nouns.
Could be. It's ChatGPT 4.
I was just about to say that, Tony.
That's a female.
It's probably Google Bard hallucinating.
Have you used Google Bard? I haven't used it.
This noun has a real chip on his shoulders. I don't like him.
That's a goat.
The
greatest of all time.
I kind of like that goat. He's got like a hippie vibe, that goat.
Oh, man.
Oh, I like this one. I like this one a lot. And it looks like somebody's trying to snipe it.
Yeah,
the winner of the noun is
settling?
Yeah, he's like, I want this factory and I want him now. All right.
You know what? I'm not mad. I really like this one.
Always a risk. Always a risk.
Do you, Robot Fish Girl?
All right. It's Nomo time. Nomo is a game at nomo.wtf. Get on over here. Play with us. Connect your wallet so that your choices count. Otherwise, you'll just be clicking blindly. Connect your wallet. It's safe. And you can choose whichever noun you think should be saved. There's some good ones. I don't know what you guys are going to pick here. We got 26 seconds to choose your character and try to save it by clicking more than everybody else clicks. We got all red. Everything with the pink, the pink hip rose. We got that saw. We got the greasy little ducky. Oh, yeah, the monochrome camera. Where's he?
He's up there.
He's right on the top.
He doesn't look as monochrome in FOMO.
Yeah, it doesn't look as monochrome. I really like this noun.
If you're a fan of pie, there's one for you on the bottom there.
Modrovsky, which one have you chosen? Which one do you want to be then?
Oh, we didn't get there was a flamingo with a pink noun accessory. That was really nice. I really like this. I'm hoping we can. I don't think it's going to be close. The camera's going to win. But I'm going to get these lips as far as I can because we finally see good ones.
I'll join you.
Yo, who's switching up the teams, man?
It's because when on hoodie, it's casual. I love it.
Gotta keep those chips in there. Didn't happen.
Tony, of course, we know what you're choosing.
Two hoodie nouns versus the black and white photo. I like all of these. They're all so good.
We got code and we got monochrome, black and white camera.
That is going to be close.
Oh my
God! What happened?
What have you done to my toad? Look at the mess.
What happened?
The camera mouse happened to it. I'm sorry, I had to do it too.
Oh, this is close. Okay, this is obvious now. The monochrome camera.
The hoodie strings actually
doesn't look monochrome.
Now that was a great Nomo. It even started to lag in certain places because there was so many clicks happening at the same time.
I tried so hard
to kill Toadie's toad, and you managed to do that. But that's okay.
I love that we got an index card though on the shirt.
We did.
You mean because it's white?
So when that
I don't know.
When that auction closed,
well, my Nomo was showing the wrong noun, so please strike my comment from the record.
I'm like, okay, we'll just go with that, Josh. It's white, sure. I do think this is a great Nomo noun, though, Joshua Fisher, to do a contest. I think we should do some kind of a contest, like do an illustration in black and white or something of a noun of this Nomo noun. What do you think?
You want to say that again? You want to do black and white drawings?
This Nomo would be a great contest. Yeah, like draw it in black and white, or do a nounish drawing in black and white.
Or we could do a photo contest and see what pictures this noun is taking.
Noir nouns.
No,
Ooh,
I like that.
Yeah,
How
black
about
and white pictures. I like that.
Black and white
Let's
pictures
see.
or illustrations? How about that? Keep it open to everybody.
Yes.
We should use the playground. This would be a good one.
All right, so we do it live. We're formulating contests on the fly here. All right, so we've done our duty here on 9 o'clock live. We actually got sniped by the winner of the previous auction, which, as you know, we don't ever fault the previous owner for rugging us, because I mean, you just paid 50 each for a noun. You can be forgiven for wanting to see that puppy in your wallet safe and sound. And he did wait like 6 minutes, and he was probably like, WTF, guys, you're gonna pick something or not? And he just sniped this blowfish, and it's a pretty nice one. So you got the matching noggles to the head. That's always nice. And that is
I really like this one. I'm definitely not biased at all.
Do you like it? Do you like it as much as Davin? Because Davin's already bid 0.0.
Davin's already bid on it.
So seems like he likes it more. As far as the Nomo has gone, we have minted this Nomo. It's a black and white photographer Nomo number 659, available for mint for 24 hours from right now for 0.0069 ETH. That's like $12 USD at current prices. Does a few things for you. Gets you access to our Nomo channel in the TNS Discord, where Symbiote Talk is constantly posting different mints and news from around the NFT sphere. Really great resource. If you haven't checked it out, well, you'll need a Nomo to do so. If you also hold a Nomo, you put yourself into the draw for the Lucky Nomo, where we use one of the NFTs from our Nomo vault. We've got lots of different nounish NFTs and editions in there. We give one away every single day to a minter of the previous day's Nomo. And it just helps us to continue to do what we do here at TNS. It's part of our strategy for becoming more self-sufficient. So if you appreciate all the spaces that we run here on a daily basis, this is a little way that you can get a collectible in your wallet and say thank you at the same time. That is the Nomo noun story. So that's FOMO. That's Nomo. Now back to the guest.
Back to the guest. I had to unmute halfway through that. Hang on. Back to the guest. There we go.
There we go. So index card. I believe you were just telling us what you like to use index cards for, and it was to swim with them. If I'm remembering that correctly. Odd use case, but we don't judge.
Yeah, I like to do a lot of things with them. I take them for walks. I swim with them.
You should do an index card
airplanes.
with a leash accessory. In that case,
it's
anyhow,
really quite versatile. I have I guess we can go off tangents here for sure. This is Noun Square, right? I have so many ideas, and the more you think about it, the more this index card, rectangle and design, can be just applied to almost anything in life.
And you've tried.
Oh, have I tried?
You've made every noun into an index card from what I've seen. So I appreciate that. But anyway, continue.
But yeah, I think before we left, I had designed the index card noun. I submitted to Noundry. A few people kind of gave me the emoji reactions, and then didn't really hear anything, for the next month or so, while the committee kind of went through all the submissions and picked out their favorite. And then one day they made the first cut, and I actually hidden trivia here. I had two nouns that made the first cut. The index card was my main one, but I also drew a curling stone, and for a while I sported the curling stone instead of the index card.
The curling stone was your side chick?
Yeah, it came second, and I rocked it for a bit. I don't really know why I chose that one over the index card, because clearly the index card was the winner, but I sported the curling stone for a bit.
That is good trivia. I did not know that. As a Canadian, I should have known that.
I know I've never even played curling. I'm definitely not Canadian, but
the funny thing is when you said that, that's immediately where my head went. When you said that you made a curling stone, I was like, is Modrovsky Canadian? Because usually you never hear any curling references outside Canada. It's not that we all play. It's not that we all curl. Just to be clear, I've never curled in my life.
It's just that nobody else does.
It's a very Canadian sport somehow. I guess because of the ice and all. Anyhow.
Have you seen that USA Dream Team though? Unbelievable, like must-watch TV during the Olympics. They didn't do too well last time, but I know I'm glued to my TV every Winter Olympics.
I think you're the first person to ever call curling must-watch TV. I gotta check the records, but might be a first.
Oh, you gotta go back to when the USA won. It's phenomenal match.
To say that curling is must-watch TV, you gotta have a lot of stones.
Hello,
Mr. Panda, Mr. Lil Panda, with the Hack Week Capybara. What's up, sir?
GM Toady, appreciate you getting that Lil in there because I am Lil Panda. I'm not any panda. I'm Lil Panda. GM Index Card was wondering if you are working on anything for Nouns Hack Week. I came in a little late, so maybe you already covered this, but do you have any good ideas for IRL or sort of weird Hack Week stuff?
Trying to tee me up. So Lil Panda and I are kind of working on a proposal that's coming to Lil Nouns soon. Maybe we'll touch on it a little bit later.
Ooh, the old stealth shill.
No. I was talking about
together.
Just to be clear, I was talking about Hack Week. I was talking about the weird IRL thing, which we're not doing anything together on. But we talked about some ideas, so I was wondering if you wanted to bounce any of those around and see what Toady has to say.
I like weird.
Mike Good also on stage. He shared like a edited screenshot the other day of like dude with a sign, but instead of a sign, just a giant index card. So I was thinking of maybe that being my submission. I'll just stand somewhere in New York with a giant index card sign. I don't know if that works, but
it certainly sounds weird. That's for sure. Let's take a little aside actually to talk about Hack Week, because Hack Week is awesome, and we're halfway through it already. I can't believe we're already halfway through it. I just pinned up in the nest the Prop House tweet that shows all of the different tracks that are currently open for builders. So let's go through those now, so anyone who's listening can get their think on and think about what they're going to hack on for the rest of this week. Hack Week was funded by Prop 253. By the ExplorerGrants gang that put it up. And the idea is essentially to have a hackathon that is not in any centralized location. So instead of being like at DevCon or at any of these developer conferences where everyone kind of gets together and hacks away at something with a theme usually, this is like a decentralized hackathon all over the world where anyone with any skills can bring them to bear in a Nounish fashion. So there's three main tracks. There's the developer track, there's the art, design, and media track, and then there's the IRL weird stuff track. So the first track, which is the developers track, is 3 ETH times 10 prizes, so 30 ETH up for grabs. And they're asking anyone to build something technical related to nouns. They're given some examples: an alternative nouns front end, a contract upgrade, a mobile app, nouns hardware, etc. Then we have the art, design, and media track. Create anything Nounish, art, a YouTube video, blog post, a song, etc. 2 ETH times 10 in that track, so 20 ETH being given away. And then finally, we've got the Hack Week IRL and weird stuff track. So anything that doesn't fit into those previous two categories, something that is physical or IRL or weird, like taking a giant index card and going and standing in a New York street. Those would be good examples of things you could put into those rounds, into that round rather. 2 ETH times 10 again in that one. And then finally, here at TNS, to be good sports and participate in the hack celebration, we have our own round as well. which is a 1-week content creation challenge, 5 prizes of 0.4 ETH up for grabs. All you need to do is create some content that could be used on our YouTube, on our TikTok, on our Twitter. It could be a thread. It could be a Medium article. Any Nounish content is a good submission for that round. So that is the Hack Week spiel. I'm glad that you tipped us off to chat about that little panda, because we're halfway through, and I think this is pretty exciting. 99 ETH, I think, total. Actually, might even be more than 100 ETH, including the TNS prizes, up for grabs just for hacking away on something Nounish this week. So yeah, anyone have any weird ideas for Hack Week? I'd love to hear them.
I'm running Slack Week next week after this one. If anyone wants to join me, we take the week off, take a few naps, touch some grass.
Oh yes,
that would be the perfect opportunity to launch Nouns on the Couch. We've been talking about this. We've been talking about this for a while. I think Nouns on the Couch's time has come during Slack Week 2023.
Slack carries a different meaning for me. Slack channels and whatnot from former jobs. I can't handle Slack, so I have a notion to change that.
I thought you were going to say like there's different definitions of Slack that could be used there. So I wasn't sure if you were going to go with the clothing ones or you're talking about Slack, like chatting on Slack, right? But I thought you were talking about like wearing slacks. Like everyone has to wear slacks next week.
Doctors,
don't do it. Everyone has to wear Doc Martens next week. No other pants allowed.
I was thinking, Tody, of doing a kind of a live stream version, sort of long form interview about the founding story of TNS. Kind of dig into the initial beginnings of TNS. Was thinking of having you on, some other founder folks. What do you think about that for the TNS round?
Let's do it. Sounds good to me.
I would love that. I would love to just sit Tody down and be like, so what diagnoses do you have that made you think this was a good idea?
The most interesting thing is that I'm currently like pacing back and forth in my office as we host this space. So when you said I want to sit Tody down, it really hit, you know? Yeah, that sounds like a cool idea. I'd be happy to jam with you on that.
Is it true you've been doing this for 289 days, no days off? How is that possible?
Well, that's, I should point out that it's not any one person that's done this for 289 days. And I don't think any one person could have done it, which is kind of the beauty of the model here where, everyone helps out where they can. And so there's been days where I've had a screaming baby in my arms, and there's been days when I've taken vacation and vice versa. But we come together as a team, and we have made sure to get up and live every day for 289 days in a row. And that's pretty cool. IMO.
But yeah, you were probably there
doing
98% of them.
Maybe something close to that. Index card.
I'll say how's Teddy doing over there, my boy.
If we could just make sure that everybody speaks at the same time so we can't hear Index card, that'd be great. 1, 2,
Sounds like
3.
a plan.
All right, Index card. Third time's a charm. What was that?
I was asking how Taddy was doing, my boy.
Your boy.
Part owner of the birthday cake now.
That's right. That's right.
Yeah.
If you guys don't know that story, it's pretty cool. So on the day that my son was born, everybody who was on Down O'Clock Live got together and FOMO'd a birthday cake. At that time, FOMO was still working, thankfully. They FOMO'd him a birthday cake for his birthday, which was kind of cool. Somebody bought it and came into Nouns, and I guess Nouns wasn't exactly what he thought it was going to be, because a week later he put it up for sale, and it ended up getting bought by who was it bought by for the fractionalization? It was PartyBid, right?
Yeah, PartyBid.
Yeah, so PartyBid grabbed it and fractionalized it and sold off little cupcakes of the cake Noun. And Modrovsky was very kind to grab one of them and send it to the wallet that Ben Body also set up that night that my son was born, called taddyhawk.eth. And so all that to say, my son now owns a cupcake of the cake Noun. So it's pretty cool. And thank you again for that.
Yeah. I had like the
No
thought
wonder.
popped in my head and I couldn't get it out of my head. And so that's kind of like all the things I do in nouns. I just have like an idea, kind of weird and silly, and then I can't get it out of my head, so I just do it. And that's kind of how I ended up with my noun, even though that was quite a big investment. How I ended up with this prop house that I run, my like composables, entries, and nouns traits and stuff. I just like these kind of like silly, fun ideas and just running with it.
So that's actually part of the story that we didn't get to earlier. So in our true TNS ADHD fashion, let's come back to that. You talked about how you went into the Noundry contest. You had a couple entries. You had the curling rock. You had the index card. And the index card ended up going the distance and being chosen by the panel as one of the new heads to be included in the collection. So the whole purpose of this Noundry contest, if people missed it or weren't around at that time last August, was that on the 1 year anniversary of Nouns, a new set of heads and accessories was going to be voted in to be included randomly in the possible nouns that would happen every day. So Modrovsky's index card was put into that contest and won. Now, you were retro rewarded for that index card, correct, along with the other winners?
I was. It took like a month or two, and to be clear, when we all did like the Noundry submissions, there was some talks about being rewarded for it and compensated, and then some talks about how just being in the project is kind of the reward, and I agree with that. That's like a massive kind of reward in and of itself. But then a few months later, Krell, the community member, kind of just led the charge, and I got 15 ETH in retroactive compensation for the noun head, which was kind of like a crazy amount for drawing a pixel, like, I don't know, 22 by 14 pixel art. And it was probably one of the greatest days ever. I remember, like just kind of like watching. It wasn't even my prop. I wasn't part of it necessarily, but I was watching that prop vote. And it was just like really cool that from the beginning of Noundry to the end of it, it was all like fairly community led.
Yeah, I thought that was cool. People from the community just thought, everybody who made these contributions to the protocol should be rewarded, and it kind of makes sense. I mean, if we all believe that Nouns is going to be around for the long haul, maybe 20 years down the line, there'll be many index cards in the collection that have brought many amounts of ETH into the treasury. So it does kind of make sense, I think, to be rewarded for your contributions.
It's a super clean head too. Like I feel like that's underestimated a lot, but just the fact that it works with any Noggle color and the fact that it works with like any shirt color, like that's huge for getting aesthetic nouns, which, as we saw with this factory, can directly impact how much funding nouns gets.
Yep, exactly. Aesthetic nouns matter, as we've seen today.
And then I got the green gunky one. But,
yeah, I mean, you can't win them all.
Well, so let's talk about that. So now, your index card is sort of in the collection, but of course it has to be FOMO'd in order to show up. And I believe, if I'm remembering correctly, did you kind of tell us that you were thinking about buying one and we were supposed to FOMO one? I can't remember exactly, but did that happen?
Yeah, I had been thinking about it for a while, and like the prices of nouns were kind of coming down. I received that 15 ETH, which was, I guess, about like 20,000 US dollars at the time. And then as the prices came down, I was like, wow, I think I can afford one. And then once that happened, I couldn't stop thinking about like owning the first index card. And I got really fortunate because if it popped up in the auction at any point before I bought mine, I would not have been able to buy it. So it would have went to somebody else. And I guess that would have been okay, but it was kind of like really perfect timing. I had secured the funds through whatever means. I don't, we don't have to get into it, but I got the funds, and I came to you guys and I was like, hey, if you want a FOMO one, I think I just muted myself on accident in the middle of my talking, but yeah, I came to you guys, asked if you could FOMO because it was kind of like my entry into the ecosystem through FOMO. I thought it would come full circle, put it back in the community's hands in some way. And you guys minted me this, I don't know what this is, but it's got some stains, a little gunky. But
well, that's what happens when you take your index cards swimming. They end up with all kind of weird stains on their shirts, you know? So it's bound to happen. All right. Well, you said that you don't want to talk about how you came up with the funds, and that's fine. But let's talk about the ramifications of that. I remember.
No, we can talk about anything.
Well, no, that's fine. I don't need to know where you came up with the funds. I know it was drugs, but what I want to know is the conversation with your significant other, because I remember the day that you bought the Noun, you're like, oh, you were in a train station. Well, actually, so this is a whole other part of the story. So let's
I remember this.
Aside. So we FOMO'd this for Modrovsky, and then he had the audacity to be on the way home from work while the auction was ending. And so he was like in a train station trying to bid on this Noun, and not having a great time of it. So he asked if anyone could help, or did POAP offer to help? How did that go with Patricio?
Yeah, so that weekend I was at my brother's house, and I brought the idea of buying the Noun to him, and it happened like the next day that I got FOMO'd. But I happened to have work kind of like right at the time that the auction was going to settle. And I put out a bid of, I think, 48.69 ETH, because it rounds up to 487, which was the idea of my Noun. And it was kind of higher than most of the auctions, so I thought I was pretty good. But I was scheduled to get out of work in time to be home. And I think I'm a good employee, and I ended up staying a little bit later because something came up. And so I was trying to race home. It wasn't really working out. I was in the subway. I got off the train. And then you broke the news to me that someone outbid me. And that was like a rough moment. I didn't know what to think. I had like actual, like gut reactions to it. Like my body, I could feel it in my body, if you know what I'm talking about.
Yeah.
I was like, oh, no.
That's
but then it was kind of like
the
all right.
auction. If you don't feel that in the auction, did you really bid?
Yeah, but imagine it's your baby also on top of that.
Ugh, max pain.
Almost. But then that's when POAP slid into my DMs, and he was like, hey, we bidding on this auction or what? And I was like, yeah, let's do it. I'm not home, but if you want to, for me, have at it. And then he asked me what my max bid was. And I was like, oh, shit. And then I got to kind of like crunch the numbers and give him my ceiling. But we ended up winning the next bid.
He was like, I can only go as high as 55,000 ETH. Choose your number.
I know. I was like, this is like the complete polar opposites. He's got like unlimited ETH, and I just had enough for the Noun pretty much in my wallet. But we secured it, and then it made its way over to you. You went and played soccer for a few hours or something.
Yeah, I owned a Noun,
and then it made it over to me.
It was fun.
I remember you joining the space too while standing on a subway platform, and I'm like, oh, buddy.
For 2 hours as I was playing soccer, I was like playing soccer in that meme, and I was like standing in the net being like, they don't know I own a Noun.
It was honestly one of my favorite Nounish moments, to be honest, that whole episode. Like, I tried to get it put into our prop as one of the things that the Noun Square should be proud of, facilitating and being a part of that whole lore.
We did actually put it in our prop, but we put it in our previous prop because this actually happened between our trial run and our first 5-month stint. So
this is an evergreen story, so I'm really happy that you guys are telling it again, because some of these details I was there for, and some of them I wasn't, and some of them I remember, and some of them I'm remembering, and it's really fun.
Well, maybe this is a good impetus for someone to sit me and Index Card down, as Robot Fish Girl said, and we can do a video or something for YouTube and make sure that it's preserved in the lore of Nouns, because I agree, it's a fun story.
You guys got to link up in Blue Xanadu and talk about it.
With Blue Xanadu?
To be my Noun.
Yeah, when the Blue Xanadu Unreal environment gets released, we gotta all like start hanging out and shooting episodes in there and doing all sorts of fun interviews and all that stuff.
I'm for
You
it.
have no idea how much time I'm going to spend in there.
It's unreal how much time you're going to spend.
I'm upset.
So
I would love it if the interview was conducted as index card dude with sign, where you just answer questions back and forth with your index cards instead of talking.
That's funny, actually.
Or like do like the Bob Dylan video where you're just like throwing them down.
It could also just be fun if we're each just holding index cards as we're being interviewed and we're like consulting them as though the answers were on the index card. That could be fun also. Like we're giving a political speech.
Love it.
I have a dream. All right. Where were we? We were talking about the purchase of your noun, and then we got, no pun intended, derailed by the story of you standing on a subway platform, unable to bid on your noun. I wanted to hear, though, about what happened after, because I remember something you said that day. You were like, well, I bought this noun. Now I have to go and tell my girlfriend. And I was like, oh, geez, this is not going to be good. How did that go?
Godspeed.
I'm still not really 100% sure. Thankfully, she's not here right now. But I'm not 100% sure if she knows how much it actually cost.
Okay.
But to be fair, she like really understands nouns. She doesn't participate, but like she can name like certain key props, nounders, etc. So she kind of understands it. But yeah, I'm not sure
Do you
she
have
really
like
knows
flashcards?
exactly how much.
Do you have like flashcards on index cards that you quiz her?
I have quizzed her before, to be honest. I don't know, yeah, but she's got some good knowledge. But I do, if we're going personal here, I have, just my girlfriend. We're not married yet, so technically, I bought the noun before any sort of like engagement ring or anything. So the pressure is on.
The pressure is on. When ring noun, right? You're gonna propose.
What do you think the average girlfriend would prefer? The diamond ring or the ring noun?
Okay, this gives me a good idea actually for like a nouns proposal or a contest with TNS or something, where we FOMO and buy a ring noun, and then we find someone to propose to their girlfriend or significant other.
Or you just ask random people in the street, like
noun.
Because obviously the noun is worth many diamond rings, and so like
depending on the diamond.
If you choose, it depends on the diamond, correct? But if you choose the noun, you're most likely making the right choice. But how many people would choose it?
Well, I think was it either Abtoshi or I think Nikki? Yeah, Nikki did a TikTok series where she did that. She sort of went around Miami and asked people if they wanted a Miami penthouse or a noun or something. I think it was something like that.
That's
as you can imagine, most people chose the physical thing that they think would be worth more. So, because NFTs are all going to zero and they're killing the earth.
Are you guys thinking maybe we should have someone marry a noun? I think that would be something new.
Oh God, no.
You went there. Hey, I mean, Rocco is kind of like, an eligible bachelor, isn't he?
All right. If you had to propose to one noun, which one would it be?
The index card.
Noun zero.
Actually, it would be the factory. I think he's got like a nice dark brooding feeling, like he's got some secrets.
Did Brennan ever get around to burning?
That's right.
I'd propose to orangutan.
I was like, did Brennan ever get around to burning 401? Because if so,
well, it was 404, right? Now not found.
That's what I meant. Sorry.
And no, he has not burned it yet, because when he bought it, this is another one that should go into TNS lore. Is Brendan asking us to FOMO him something funny for noun 404 because he was going to burn it, and so we FOMO'd him a gnome, which was kind of perfect because noun 0 is a gnome, and so this was like 404 gnome not found, and so he was going to burn it, but then he realized live as he was bidding, he realized that he would not be able to burn it, delegate. He wanted to delegate the vote essentially to a multisig and then burn the noun itself. And he realized mid-bid that was not going to be technically feasible, and yet bought the noun anyway. So he's still waiting for it to be possible to do that, to like permanently delegate the vote to a different wallet and then burn the actual NFT. So that's what's going on with that. But what he could do, though,
I love that happened live on air. I love that discovery was like, he talked himself through it. There was no other input there. He was just like, wait, but if I did this, whatever.
There's a lot of stuff that has happened live on the air like that. You know, there's a lot of people that have come to realizations while they've been on the space. Like when Adrian showed up on our show once, still a little bit drunk from the night before, and he says, guys, I accidentally bid on this noun while I was drunk. Someone's got to outbid me. I don't want this noun. And then the plot thickens. Someone does outbid him on the noun, and then he actually gets FOMO and pulls out his wallet and bids again and wins the noun. That happened live on TNS. That was pretty hilarious.
That was so funny.
Literal beer noggles. Bid on a noun while slightly intoxicated. And then the next morning, you know, once the noun made him breakfast, he realized he was in love after all. And he wanted to take the noun. It might have taken that metaphor a little far. Sure.
No, it was perfect.
All right. Well, I think that's the story. Index card. Anything else that you'd like to share about your Nounish journey so far?
That's mostly like the story, and from here, I just like to kind of, you know, I consider myself still aligning with kind of like someone who doesn't own a noun, even though I own one.
Interesting.
So I like
What
to
do
do
you
whatever
think
I
that is?
can. I don't know, Davin, what do you got to say over there?
No, actually, that's what I wanted to ask you. Is that being on both sides of the aisle, non-nouner and nouner, how do you transition from that? How does it feel when now you have to vote on these proposals? You have to, you know, look deep in the proposals. How is that for you?
Yeah, so like once you buy a noun, I mean, some of you guys have like fractional ownership of noun, right? But it really makes you like look and think at the project quite differently. And I can kind of understand, you know, there's obviously two sides in nouns, roughly speaking, and I kind of understand both, because once you put real money in it,
I have power of attorney over a cupcake of a noun. Not trying to flex.
But once you put real money in, like I kind of get, you know, where no's come from and on harsher looks at the props, but I think I still kind of align with just like the general public of nouns, and I just try and like. I consider myself, I've been calling myself nouns native because nouns was really my foray into like this creative world, this crypto world, this NFT world. It's got me doing things I probably never would have done in my real life. And I'm just kind of trying to share and spread that to other people. So I did that prop house round for like a few bucks, and I'm happy to have shared some ETH with people who didn't really have much in their wallet. I delegated my noun out to Ripe, and now I delegated out to my good, and I'm kind of cycling through that a little bit. Yeah, just trying to like do fun, weird things with this like most mundane noun. And I hang out in littles a lot. I technically owned a little before the big noun. So I just trying to do some fun things, make the index card kind of like a lovable meme within the meme. And more recently, by hanging out with littles, you know, I've been spending a lot more time with Panda, and if he wants to come, we can maybe pitch our little prop idea here in a little bit. But my mission at the end of the day, just kind of have fun in nouns. I treat it as a little bit of a hobby. I'm not here for any sort of like motive or anything. And yeah, I just kind of want to like give stuff away, have fun, maybe start minting a few dumb NFTs or something. I gave Cardno a special prize the other day, and that was kind of like the dumbest thing I ever did, but I minted a 1 of 1 technically. So
wait,
yeah,
what?
that's kind of
What's the story on that? I missed that.
What did you do?
So I went to Art Matter yesterday actually, and there was a video of the event, and Carno was like, he knew I had gone, and so he's like, if I can spot you, or whatever. I said, if you could spot me in the video on the first try, I'll give you a special prize, and he did pretty quickly. So I just printed him like an index card that said prize on it, in like the most ridiculous way.
I love that.
Like,
that's fantastic.
Like, this was so easy. It was the only lined cardstock in the crowd.
When you delegated the index card to Ripe, were you nervous that he was going to give it back with like a circle drawn on it, or?
That would have been a good.
I'd be drawn on it.
That's a deep cut. That's only going to make sense to like some people.
Now that I'm thinking of it, this would have been a good idea, is that everybody I delegated to or whatever can write something on the index card and then pass it along as like an NFT. But maybe I can still do that.
That'd be sick. I would love to see, like when you were talking about spinning the index card in New York, I would love to have that, but just like have a bunch of Sharpies in your pocket so that if people want to write stuff on the index card, they just can. And then at the end of the day, you just have a bunch of messages from whoever happened to pass by.
That's a good idea. Are you going to be at NFT NYC?
I will be there. I live in New York, so I'm gonna go sailing, hopefully with Five Oceans over there, and maybe a few other things. Together. If you're in New York, I'll see you around. Probably if you're a Nounish person.
Sweet. We lived next to each other for years, and I move away, and now we meet up at a convention. Fantastic.
Well, absence makes the heart grow fonder or something. So there you go. By the way, just a quick piece of housekeeping. We are going to do the same thing that we did yesterday with our Hack FM space, which is a space all about Nouns Hack Week. We're just going to append it to the end of 9 o'clock live. So we're going to start to wind down here in a few minutes. So if you're interested to hear about what's going on with Hack Week, you don't have to go anywhere. You can just stay right here.
That's a good segue maybe to ask Meshup about his evening.
I do want to do that. I'm going to go to Meshup in just 1 minute. But before we do that, maybe Index wanted to talk about his prop with Lil Panda, and then we can go over to Meshup if that's okay right after that.
Yeah, we'll make it quick. So I was asked to be on the space long before we ever had this prop idea, but it's just kind of come up naturally. Lil Panda and I like to have this concept of nouns as a game. And so essentially what Lil Panda and I are trying to do is stream nouns as if it were a game, and kind of we're playing along live on stream. We're building props, we're getting votes, we're getting feedback, we're making some art. We're kind of doing all sorts of what we deem like fun and interesting things. We do it live. And we're just kind of maybe see that in the future, a lot more people will kind of take this perspective and start playing their own version of nouns and kind of join us for the fun. So we've got a little prop cooking up in little nouns, probably going live Sunday. Pass or fail, we've kind of streamed the entire process. And so it's all there for everyone to see. If Panda maybe wants to say like a minute or two real quick before Meshup.
Yeah, just real quick, we just finished our draft proposal, which we did live on stream. I just tried to pin a tweet thread about it, but we're looking for feedback. We're going to go on chain Little Nouns Sunday morning because we're trying to make it live so that we do the kind of mid-season finale of our season during prime time, Thursday night around 7 p.m., and that's going to be during the last couple hours of the vote. So we're not sure what's going to happen. Maybe we'll need more votes. Maybe it will already pass. But we're trying to make it sort of destination, kind of prime time stream viewing. And yeah, we'd love your feedback. If you have a little, if you don't, DMs are open. Please hit us up and let us know.
Evidently,
sounds like you got a little panda of your own there, helping out.
He's got a couple.
The littlest pandas.
Yeah, I got two of them.
That's awesome. For the rest of the show, we're just gonna let Lil Panda speak to Lil Taddy and see what comes of it. It's a new experiment. All right. So thank you, Index Card. Thank you, Lil Panda. It's been super fun chatting with you guys. It was nice reminiscing. This felt like one of those like Seinfeld clip shows where the entire show is just like memories of previous shows. But it's been a good reminiscing time. So thank you for coming on. And of course, you're always here. So you're always welcome up here to chat.
Thank you for having me. Yeah, I stop in all the time, so I'll see you again soon. I'll hang out in the audience. But yeah, when one last thing, I guess, when you do your retweet picker, I also dropped in a little tweet under the space. So I'm doing my own retweet the room if anyone wants to partake. I don't know what the prize is going to be, but
Alpha. It's probably going to be some kind of something written on an index card. Just guessing.
To be determined, but yeah, retweet the room if you see it. But thanks. I'll be hanging around.
Awesome.
Awesome. All right. Meshup, thanks for joining us this morning. If anyone is unaware what happened yesterday, maybe you can sort of fill us in on the drama, the peeper drama from yesterday, because it's kind of crazy.
Peeper drama, huh?
Peeper drama. Keep the peeper drama for your mama. Tell us about it.
Yeah, man. It was like really weird. You know, like I just it's funny because I was working yesterday. It was like 9 p.m. for me, and I just got a DM from Jody. But at the same time, I got like, I don't know, like 55 notifications on the Nonsense server. I was like, what the fuck is happening? And obviously, I just gone to, you know, like check out the Toadies DMs first. It was like, yo, someone stole your art and he's making another paper toe collection. I was like, what the hell is happening, dude? It's like like it was so crazy. I mean, I don't know, man. It's like, yeah, like for those who doesn't know, like Paper Toads was a collection I made back in September. It launched on October of 2022. It was based on cryptodes, and yeah, it was easy zero and all that stuff, you know. It was good, but someone took notice of the CC0 aspect, and they took all the assets and made a new collection. And yeah, they're making a new collection. They made the collection like free to mint, I guess. But then like a lot of people noticed like, hey, this is not the original collection. The original collection is actually Paper Toads. And yeah, like a lot of people like, okay, so Paper Toads only sold like 450 or something, like back in October, I guess. It didn't sell out like immediately, and 6 months later came Steve's Stranger, make a new made a new collection, and the collection sold out, both of them, not like the free one and the Paper Toads. Dude, it was so weird. I was yesterday I was so confused. I was
So
like,
can I just clarify something, Mesher? Because I think I made a mistake here. So your original
yeah,
Paper Toads, I minted them, but I forget how much they were. Was it a free mint or was that the 0.2? Was it 0.2?
it was 0.02, yeah.
Okay, so this person that stole them, he just made it a free mint, basically.
Yeah.
Interesting. Okay,
Whoa,
so I did misunderstand.
I think stole is a. Can you say stole when they're just like using the CCO art? Did they like pretend to be Meshup?
Kind
Yeah,
of.
that's
Like, yeah, they did sort of.
So
That's where
they tried to steal your
word
identity
stole.
and use your artwork.
Yeah, and without
yeah.
like Prof Werder wrote a thread about this that maybe Symbio, if you could grab and pin, that would be great. But it's like, you know, CC0 means you can use someone's art, but you don't have to be a dick about it. If I had to try to summarize,
right. It's not about like tricking other people into thinking you're the artist.
Yeah, exactly.
No, well, the funny thing was like they are not saying like they are the artists. Actually, I mean, it's really funny. I mean, the whole thing is so weird. It's like, yeah, a lot, like Paper Toads just rock the people, whatever. It was like, well, that one is not correct actually. I mean, I'm using Paper Toads. I'm actually using it for the next meme Caesar chapters as well. And but the, you know, like nobody knows about that, and they were like, no,
Like it
these
takes
guys is a scammer. Yeah,
it takes time to build in like deep connections through your projects, and you've been doing that since the jump. So anyone claiming that you're not building a whole universe of nounish characters isn't paying attention, as far as I'm concerned.
Well, my take on this grifter, by the way, is that he did kind of, when he first was tweeting and stuff, he was kind of insinuating that this was original art. He didn't mention Meshup, obviously, but he didn't.
yeah,
He also didn't not mention Meshup. You know what I mean? He didn't
yeah,
say
He
yeah.
didn't say, "Hey, I'm using this artwork
inspired
from
by
Mesh
Paper.
Up."
Like if he had just said inspired by Paper Toads, people would have been like, okay, well, this is just the same art, but whatever, you do you. But he just kind of basically took the art, made it a free mint. In my opinion, paid paid some low bit 5-bit influencers to tweet about
Yeah.
it. Mint it, the people pay minting bots to get on radars and stuff. I've seen this stuff happen before with other scamming collections, and unfortunately, with the right climate in a free mint, it does work. And so he was able to mint out, not just the original collection either. He doubled the size of your collection, which I don't even understand how he did
Yeah,
that.
yeah,
There must be
yeah.
dupes.
Everything, dude. Everything was so weird. I mean, I was just reading the timeline on their Twitter, and it was like, okay, so this project actually is 18 hours. They launched like 18 hours or something. I was like, okay. They even grabbed some images from the Paper Toads Twitter that I was using for in DevCon back in Bogota. It's like it was so weird. It is, but anyways, like the only thing I really didn't like is like like a lot of people is just like they don't understand the CC0. They don't understand who am I, like all of this stuff, and they're just calling me a scammer. And like, okay, so what's next? The usual stuff. It's like, okay, so what's next? So they were just bombarding the Discord. But anyway, I just banned all those people. But the thing is like the damage I don't feel like what's too much, to be honest. Like, I don't feel like they are stealing from me because they are using the CC0 stuff. But the only thing is like, yeah, you're being like a dick in the process. It's like you're basically,
Here's the funny thing. If you read through the thread, and if you want to, obviously just make sure you don't click any links or do anything there. But it's, if you search
yeah,
PEEE, so 3EP, peeps. That's the guys that are still in this art. If you want to just take a look at it, but if you read through his timeline, originally he was just pretending that it was his own original art. Then obviously people called him out for it being stolen art, and at that point he started calling Meshup a rug, a rugger, and saying that he did it to sort of save the project and blah blah blah. And you can see the narrative kind of emerge as time goes on. But the funniest thing is that he starts making these comments about how you can't make a profit with CC0. You can't charge 0.02 ETH. You can't do this. You can't do that. See how I've done it better, blah, blah, blah. But in the process of doing that, he caused so much foment that people minted all of the fake peepers. And then they went and they minted out the real peepers for 0.02 ETH and sold out Meshup's collection and proved that CC0 works. Like,
actually works. Yeah.
I will say, the artwork is amazing. So the more people that see it, it's not surprising to me that people got excited about seeing this stuff.
For sure,
dude. I just
that the right people at the right time need to see it, right? But
yeah. I just forget like how funny some of these are. It's like, I mean, I just made the whole collection in an entire month. It's like back then it was like a really crazy month. I spent a whole month making that collection. But like now that I'm seeing the full collection right now in OpenSea, it's like, okay, this thing looks funny, at least funny, you know. And yeah, I mean, it's crazy because the whole point of the CC series thing, it was like, for me yesterday as a message that I sent you, Tony, is like, okay, CC series actually working, you know, like the
As an
provenance. Yeah, like the provenance is actually working. So yeah, it's some good case study here.
So that's interesting that you said that, because I was thinking about, you know, uh, with this knowledge of how it played out, had there been like a Peeper Toads uh, free mint a few months after the original mint, and it had the same effect on the community, like there's something interesting about thinking about the cadence of release and the like you said, like the impact of provenance that it has
Yeah,
on the collection's like importance. Like even though it looks exactly the same, like it's very clearly and definably not the same.
yeah. I mean, you know, it's kind of it's hard to say because I don't have any more information about those people. I don't know who they are or where they're located. I think they're Chinese or something like, or Asian people, because a lot of them just blast my DMs on Chinese or whatever. And yeah, since it was at 9 p.m., I guess it was like normal, like I don't know, like maybe noon on Asia or something. So it makes kind of sense. But anyways, like the only thing I really don't like is like people thinking like I don't know, like I'm fucking with them or something. I mean, I don't want to make that. I mean, everything was clear since the beginning, and I was like, hey, for those who actually don't know me, I mean, like, welcome. This is the perfect opportunity. I mean, I'm just building art, making art. Like, I'm making, trying to make cool stuff for the community and with the community as well. For example, if you see the pin tweet of the prof, I actually made the hoodie based on the originally the people just didn't have a hoodie, but then I was making the hoodie, and I don't know if Bitcoin Bob is here, but he is like a elder supporting of mine, and I made the hoodie called Bob, and that's one of the trades, and the other trade is actually called Flamingo, and the prof actually minted that toad, and she found like her toad is actually have these flamingo trade, this flamingo hoodie, and it's so funny. I mean, a lot of these things, these are like micro, let's say, like micro expressions of gratitude that I'm making to the community, if that makes sense. I don't know, but you know, trying to build something cool with the community as well, trying to pay back some of that gratitude in some way, you know.
Definitely. Awesome. Well, I'm glad you could jump on with us this morning and sort of clear the air a little bit. I think it's an interesting case study. Maybe I'm going to chat with you a little bit later. Maybe we'll do a Twitter thread explaining what happened, because I think it's kind of interesting, as like you said, as a case study on
Yeah.
CCC. So I may drop in your DMs after to chat about that. Um, we do have Martin here joining us. Martin, I apologize, we're a little over time here on 9 o'clock live. We were just talking to Meshup. Martin, I don't know if you heard, but yesterday someone stole took the art, let's say, from his Peeper Toads collection and created a new collection called Peeps, and as a free mint, and minted out 2,000 of them without Meshup's knowledge. And we were just talking about that.
No worries, no worries. Yeah, sorry to hear that. I hadn't seen, so was just catching up on that.
But I mean, the plus side is that Meshup's Peeper Toes, which is an awesome, amazing art collection, had not minted out yet, just because of market forces essentially. But this caused some foment that caused it to mint out, so it kind of worked out.
you know,
great.
like something that I was I don't know, like this wasn't the first time that I encounter this kind of behavior in the NFTs space. Like the first time was with nouns. Like I don't know if you guys remember Goop Troop. Like they got all the traits from nouns, and um, they minted these 10,000 NFTs made of nouns. And then my second experience was with Lost Nouns. We made 404, but they got all the assets and made exactly a new collection of 10,000 free
Yeah, I
NFTs.
forgot about that. You just attract
Yeah,
them, don't you, Mashup?
Yeah, I mean, it's just the experience that I have so far, and for me with Paper Toys, like, oh, it's happening again.
PTSD.
Yeah.
Well, you make incredible art. We appreciate you for it, and I don't care how it happened. I'm glad that your collection minted out. It's very well deserved.
Yeah, man.
So awesome. All right. Well, we're gonna transition over into Hack FM. We do have a couple housekeeping items from 9 o'clock live that we have to quickly wrap up. We've got a POAP, and we'll give that away right now. So if there's some people that can't stick around, they've been around for an hour, they can get that. But I'll hold off on doing the retweet picker and the Nomo lucky Nomer until after Hack FM, so we can get right into it with Martin here. But RFG, do you want to do that POAP for us?
Absolutely. So, in case you are new here, every single day here on the Noun Square, we give away a POAP. POAP stands for Proof of Attendance Protocol, free NFT. All you have to do is go to poap.xyz and download the app. Then once you have the app downloaded on your mobile device, it won't work on desktop. You have to go on your mobile device. You can go to the Mint button in the bottom right-hand corner, and then you tap Secret Word. And today's secret word is index toad. Index toad. That is INDEXTOAD. Index.
That's what they'll call me in Modrovsky when I propose.
Yeah, that was my ship name. I'm glad you picked up on that. And now you get to play a fun game that POAP has given to us, where you just count to 1,000 by tapping buttons.
It's a lot more fun than it sounds, narrator. It was not. All right. Grab your POAP. Let's give that POAP word one more time.
Yeah, index toad. All lowercase, all one word. Index toad. That is INDEXTOAD. Index toad. Would you like to buy a vowel?
I would not like to. Cardno's not here. We don't need any. All right. Explorer Grants. Mr. Martin. It is Hack Week. What up? What up?
Yeah, it's been going. It's exciting. I feel like people are getting into it. We already. I love it. We have some good proposals already. I was kind of surprised. There's already a lot of stuff. I think some of it doesn't exactly fit the criteria, but we're definitely trending in the right direction. I think people are getting excited about it.
Yeah, we got some Hack Week ones. Some developer track ones. We've got some art and design. 20 proposals already in for the art, design, and media, and 7 in for the Hack Week IRL. Interestingly, we have 12 proposals in for the grand prize new contributors, but 0 in for the grand prize current contributors. So that tells me one of two things. Either most of the proposals that have come in are from new people, which would be awesome if that's the case, or there's a possibility people don't quite understand the grand prize tracks yet. So maybe let's, just to be on the safe side, explain the grand prize tracks again one more time.
Yeah. I think it's definitely a mix because there's more proposals in the regular tracks than in the grand prizes. So just a reminder is you're going to submit your prop for one of the 3 main tracks. So developers, art, design, media, or IRL and other weird stuff. And then you're also going to submit it for a grand prize, right? That's just a way for people to vote for the best project across all categories. And so there's one track for new contributors and one for people who are already, getting funded by Nouns and doing things like that. So make sure you're submitting for both the grand prize and the specific track that you're doing. So that make sure you're submitting for both so you have a chance at the grand prize. But yeah, I'll probably be really hammering that point in the next few days to make sure people are doing that, because I think it's a little bit confusing in hindsight.
I think what you should do is you should use the "It's free real estate" meme and just post and make sure people understand that everybody can put a prop into the grand prize tracks.
Absolutely, that's a great idea.
Memes
Should we bring people up here to talk through their ideas or talk through what they're working on? I don't know if anyone here has something they're jamming on, wants to get feedback, or just wants to talk about it.
Yes, so this is an open forum. Anyone listening, this is Hack FM. We've transitioned over to Hack FM from 9 o'clock live. I'll change the title up on top in a second here. This is a space where anyone can come up and talk about what you're thinking about building, what you are building for Nouns Hack Week. So if you have some questions, some comments, you want to get some feedback, put your hand up, request to come up on stage, and we will bring you right up and you can chat with me and Martin about it. In the meantime, anyone on the stage thinking about doing something for Hack Week?
Maybe.
Well, go.
No, go ahead. Sorry.
Oh, no, it's okay. So I work with the international community a lot, and they're kind of scrambling to figure out what to do. A lot of them have on-chain proposals right now, so they're not finding that time to get in and work on new things this week. So we've been kind of working with them. We're pulling some of the really good props that they've had for on the ground events and things like that, and translating them out to send out to other languages to try to get some synergy going there. And I think a lot of us aren't putting props in yet because we're not really sure which thing yet, because this has really enthused us to kind of do some of those things we've been thinking about for a long time, but just haven't put the time in on yet. So I took Toadie's feed for Prop House, and I'm pulling that into the International's Noniverse calendar and a few little things. So we're not really sure where the prop's going, but this whole effort has just really energized us in a lot of ways. But I think that might be kind of pausing people actually getting their props in, because I have no idea what we're going to have done 4 days from now.
Well, the important thing is it is a Hack Week, so do what you can and then just put the prop in. And if it's like an MVP and it's what you've got done so far, that's okay, because it's just, putting in the time that you can with the idea that you can. So, right, Martin?
Yeah, absolutely. Would really focus on it doesn't have to be anything crazy, super fully fleshed out. Just what can you do? What fun thing can you get done this week is really, really the focus. And you can think outside the box, and it doesn't have to be something you'd necessarily do normally on chain or any other forum, right? The goal is to say let's try to do something maybe different that maybe normally is a little less feasible and makes a little bit maybe even less sense. But let's just try something weird this week.
Yeah. Excellente. Thank you.
Yeah. Meshup, did you have something?
Actually, it looks like Josh. Oh yeah, we did go. Let's go to Meshup first, because I think he did try to speak at the same time as Zarg earlier. Then we'll come over to you, Joshua. I heard Meshup is planning to do this cultural experiment where he pretends to steal his own collection as a statement on how CC0 can work. Did I get it right, Meshup?
Yeah, exactly like that. You discovered me, man.
Now, what are you thinking about it?
Yeah, I really love this idea of the Hack Week. I really, really love this thing. I have a question though. For some of these, I know people could submit in my case would be the art and media, all that stuff. But you have another section of the Hack Week, if I'm not mistaken, for current people who actually get funding from Nouns. Is that correct?
Yeah, so the way the structure works is based on the work that you're doing. So there's kind of two things. There's based on the work you're doing, there's 3 tracks. So there's the art, design, and media one, there's the developers one, and there's the IRL and other weird stuff. And then we're doing grand prizes. but those are based on whether you're already in Nouns or not, right? Because we wanted to make sure we gave grand prizes to people outside of Nouns, people who are also are part of the community, to make sure that people already in the community are also participating in Hack Week. So make sure if you're submitting something that's art, you're going to submit for art, design, and media, and then you would probably submit for the current contributors grand prize, right? Since you're already very embedded in Nouns, and you've done props for Nouns and so on. If I'm correct, so that's what I would say. If you've never been funded by Nouns or anything, you're probably going to submit to the grand prizes for new contributors.
Awesome. Yeah, just wanted to clarify that thing. Awesome. Thanks, man.
Yeah, absolutely. What are you thinking of doing this week?
Dude, I don't know. Like, I have a lot of ideas. Maybe this is the perfect time to make some noun bots. I don't know. I don't know if I have enough time, to be honest. It's like I have been pretty busy this week, but I will try to make that stuff to see what happens for sure.
Did you say noun bots?
Yes, sir.
Oh, some alpha. I haven't heard of a noun bot before. I want to hear. I want to see what it is. You got Joshua.
For sure.
You got Joshua Fisher excited for sure. He loves all things mesh up. Josh, you mentioned you wanted to chat about something you're working on or thinking of.
Well, I got some alpha that I wanted to share that Tata Porto and Tortita are working on a Nouns Museum project and working on bringing it into other NFT native platforms other than crypto voxels.
Oh, interesting. Like porting it over to Ohm or other spots.
I don't want to overpromise, so I'm going to let them figure out exactly what the details are and how much we can get done this week. But I think there's definitely plans to do all that type of stuff.
I'm a little sad that he wasn't able to win the Noun today. I think he was going to make like a Nouns factory or something. Maybe we might have missed out.
Yeah, he Tortitas sold an ape and went for the Noun. Really?
Oh wow. Alpha here. That's crazy. And he really wanted that factory. So we're going to have to get together with Tortita and find what his second favorite noun would be and see if we can snipe something for him coming up. Because he just missed out by, I think it was 1 ETH that he got beat. His top bid was 50 ETH. But today's noun went for over 51 ETH. So pretty crazy.
I think it's probably because of all the amazing artwork that was created by our community around it. Got people excited.
That could be it. That could be it. You should definitely pin some of those up top so people can have a look, because there was some great ones, if you don't mind.
I wonder if like stuff like that, like does that count as like Hack Week media and design? Like, oh, I participated in a bunch of contests and created this thing.
We talked about that yesterday, Martin and I, on Hack FM about there's technically nothing wrong with, like, if you've done art in the past and you didn't win any prizes for it, and you want to put it into one of the tracks for Hack Week, by all means. It's a little bit against the ethos of like not having been something you hacked this week, but maybe you could build it out.
I'm saying, like, if you entered into the contest yesterday and then do something else today, like, I think you can consider that entry as part of what you're doing during Hack Week. Maybe, I don't know.
Sure, yeah, like a series of entries. Yeah, why not?
Yeah, I think if you're doing stuff this week, that's you can submit that for Hack Week. I would say that's the main focus is like doing something this week is really the emphasis. So yeah, if you happen to be doing something for a different project, then feel free to submit it here too. Yeah.
Awesome. Alsara 2K, you've got your hand up. You joined us here yesterday. You were talking about doing some animations, if I remember correctly, for Hack Week.
Yeah. Hey guys. I'm actually kind of surprised that Noun Square hasn't gotten any propositions in yet. So what I've been thinking of to submit for Noun Square is a 3D animated Nouns clock tower, like similar to the Square profile picture in all the promotional material. And I'm looking to submit that to you guys by Friday.
Let's go. Can't wait to see it. And the one thing about all these rounds is a lot of times many of the entries come in at the very last day. So sometimes it can be stressful, but I'm glad to see that we've got quite a few entries already, Martin, for some of the tracks. But I think some of these tracks with all this ETH up for grabs are going to be getting a lot more entries over the coming days for sure.
Absolutely.
Martin, maybe I'll ask you, have you had a chance to review some of the proposals. Any favorites so far? Anything that stands out?
Yeah, let me pull them up right now. I was looking at it a little bit earlier today. There's one that caught my attention. One thing that I've been enjoying is in the art category. There's people creating new nouns traits. So I've been enjoying that. That was something we were considering doing as a standalone category, but I think it makes a ton of sense like this. There's one that
There's
is a
definitely some unbridled energy when it comes to designing nouns, which we discovered with the recent TraitWorks round that had 300 entries, I think, total.
For sure.
They're giving away 1.69 ETH to, I think, 6 different winners who designed new nouns heads, and there was like 300 entries. It was nuts, and some of them were really great. So obviously, lots of people interested in designing noun heads.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, there was one that was a microphone, pancakes, and boba. I thought they were all actually very cool and very nounish looking. And there was one that was just it was just a condom. That's all the trait was just a condom noun's head, which I thought was definitely interesting and
I saw
with
that one.
the theme.
I saw Hindsight tweeted that would be a good one for the Nouns Protector group that votes sometimes.
Yeah.
Maybe
So
not the
that's
most nounish of noun heads, but appreciate the
yeah.
creativity.
Absolutely, yeah. I've been liking that. I think let's see if there's anything else. If anyone has something that they put up that they want to share, feel free to put your hand up and we can also talk about it.
One thing I was thinking about in the meantime, and this isn't 100% Hack Week related, but Five Oceans is up on stage here. Maybe he wants to talk a little bit about the upcoming regatta that's going to be floating through the New York Harbor.
Hey, hello, guys. Yeah, it's always nice to be here at Noun Square and listen to everyone. So yeah, I'm organizing event for nouns. It's scheduled to be on April 15th in New York Bay. So we're gonna try to get really cool photos of nounish spinnakers that we made together in the nounish Discord. So yeah, guys, if someone is in New York, please join us. And you can probably look into my profile. There's a NFT that mashup, the image that the mashup was kindly enough to make a Statue of Liberty with the noggles. Yeah. So in the description of that NFT, you can find the schedule of the event, and then probably we're all gonna meet somewhere on the sidelines during the NFT NYC. I think it's gonna be pretty amazing because we have one big 110 feet yacht, which can accommodate around 100 people. And plus we have also 7 small boats that will be decorated with nounish logos and logos everywhere. So I think it's gonna be amazing.
Super. I can't wait. Save me a spot on the boat. I'll be there.
Yeah. So, and special thanks to Index Card because there's a kind of delay with shipping of the sales, and probably me and Index Card, we have to drive to Connecticut to pick up the sales. So yeah, he was very kind to offer his help. Yeah.
Does that make him a traveling salesman?
Well, we're gonna keep records on the Index Card and then bill someone.
I have to keep Robot Fish Girl on the stage.
Yep.
Robot Fish Girl, come back. In the meantime, Martin, have you found any other Hack Week props?
Yes. I found one that I actually wanted to. I'm excited to see this because I've been looking for things sort of like this. There's a Nogglebot, a nounish GPT, which I think there maybe have been variations. I know the iPod is hard at work on things like this, but it's cool to see someone put this together, and I think there's a lot of potential for things like this this week as well, like building on things with AI. I think is very interesting. There was one other one that I really enjoyed. Let me pull it up from the Hack Week Discord. If you're not in the Hack Week Discord, I'm actually going to bring the tweet up here so you can join it. Because I want us to be in there and you can share what you're doing and get feedback on it. Someone was working. I just lost it. Someone's working on a nounish snake game, which I thought was pretty fun. I think it's kind of in this category of ideas that we shared one of the first Hack FMs, which is just like, just take something small and fun that exists that you like and just make a nounish version. I think is a really cool little thing that you can try doing, and that could be a great place to start and generate more ideas for you. But yeah, I think there's a few things happening in the Hack Week Discord. If you want to join that, we're going to be in there just sharing through ideas, and then maybe doing some workshops or something in there later this week.
Sounds good. And we're doing these Hack FM spaces every day at noon here on TNS. Where 9 o'clock right now is falling, it sounds like we'll probably append them to the end of the 9 o'clock spaces for the next couple of days. So, yeah, if you can come to 9 o'clock live and then stick around for some Hack FM right
Sounds
after.
good.
Is that working for you guys, Martin?
Yeah.
Amazing. All right. Anyone else here up on stage want to talk about anything they're hacking away at or planning to hack on this week? All right. Well, okay. Index card. I just saw your hand. Go for it.
I don't know if I have anything specific that I'm working on, but I think for me, like the biggest challenge is I don't know why it was, but Hack Week has just like triggered all these ideas in my head.
That's the
I'm
idea.
just having trouble. Like I know, but I'm having trouble picking. Like I don't know. The challenge for me, I think, is going to pick what to actually pursue and go
Yeah.
with. I don't know if there's any advice, but that's just kind of I have all these ideas and I just don't know which one to go with.
I say just tweet them all out and just let people kind of pull them out from you and tell you which one is the best one. That's what I would say. That's generally what I tend to do, is just put stuff out and just see what people like the most and just go with that for now. Or if you want to hop in the Hack Week Discord, we can talk through it there too. That's a good problem to have.
All right, I'm gonna hop in the Discord, and then I guess also while I'm here, I'd love to participate in the Noun Square one. I don't know if you guys have kind of given any sort of little tidbits on what you might like or look to see, or some like ideas to get people going in the right direction.
It's pretty open, but basically the idea is just anything that's nounish content that could be used for our YouTube or TikTok, Twitter threads, Medium articles, any kind of nounish content that could help build the community. So pretty open.
Do like a feature on all the awesome things that Toady Hawk has done, and like help make the profile of Toady Hawk worth what it really is in this world. Dude, all the flowers go to you, sir.
But you have to do it in Toadie's native language, so it's got to just be like a 6-page document that just says ribbit, croak.
That's the only thing I will. That's the only thing I will read. Sarah, you've got your hand up. What's up?
Yeah, I just wanted to say that if anybody has like an idea that they want animated, or if they want something built in 3D, just shoot me a message and I can see what I can do.
Can you animate Index Card at a Subway trying to bid on a noun?
Hell yeah. Sure, man. Just send me a DM and we can work something out.
I'm actually going to hit you up right now.
Can we clip? Maybe if it would be the best thing, I guess, would be if you went back in today's show and you listened to the clip where they tell the story about what was happening and how POAP
it's seared into my brain.
And, yeah, like it is a fun story. I would love to see how you portray all the different characters.
Sure, I can get that done tonight.
Wow, that's amazing. We talked about doing that as like an interview with Index Card, but it'd be really awesome to have it as an animation.
Sure.
Or how sometimes podcasts will like animate certain conversations that happen, and then they'll put them up on YouTube. It would be really cool.
Let's RT animate this.
Amazing. XO, welcome back. You got something that you're still hacking on?
Yeah, GM. Thanks, Toady. I'm hacking away, and just like time is ticking, but I'm working hard on a few things. Just want to get some feedback. Like two questions, I guess. One is obviously the in real life stuff. I'm gonna make a plan and leave that, as discussed yesterday. But for the other idea I'm working on. I'm just wondering, if I could get some feedback from the community, just to like, you know, when you go to events, when you go to side events specifically, um, do you guys have any particular pain points or things that you would expect from a side events app? For example, just to kind of brainstorm here, if you do you tend to mint a app of your side event? Do you want just a free drink? Do what do you want from a side events app that will help you get make sure that you have a good time? Is it maybe it's an agenda of like a list of events that you can sign up to, or maybe see like which other nounish communities or friends that you want to connect with, and see which side events they go to. Those are the kind of things I'm thinking about. There's obviously like the MVP, but also, there's potentially a lot more things you could do with that. Like, you could have a chat function. There's loads of things that I'm thinking about. It's just about like, yeah, what does the community want, and I want to build it specifically to make sure that the nouns community benefits from it. Yeah, what do you guys think?
Good question, Martin. Do you have any thoughts on that?
Yeah, I think it's kind of a lot to digest. So I think the best thing to do would be to just start putting some examples of what you want to build and start getting feedback from people that way. I think it's a little hard to give feedback on an idea through this medium, but I think generally the best thing would be, based off your own experience, build something and get some designs going, and then maybe get some feedback that way would be great. I think it's a little bit harder through this medium, but if you want to go deep with someone, maybe scheduling a call with someone that you think would be a user would be a great way to do it, and kind of running a user interview that way. Otherwise, yeah, just I think a good way to get feedback is just to create something and see what people think, and adjust as you go, and not go too deep down one track. So that's more of a meta point there.
Yeah, thank you. I think the user research definitely makes sense, and I am trying to do that and iterate on that.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, I was just wondering if anyone from the nouns community who's been to a side event, any particular pain points or anything like that. Whether it's connecting with people after an event, like maybe you meet someone amazing and you just don't you forget to connect because you had such a good time, or whether it's like you don't know what they look like because everyone's wearing a PFP, and then you have to figure out like who's who. Like those are the kind of like, I guess, things that could easily be improved. Or yeah, like I just think that some of the information is very fragmented. Like from my personal experience, like I don't want to talk too much about it because I want to hear from others. But yeah, like my personal experience is like a lot of side events are fragmented, and there's like everything's going on at different times, and it's not very well organized. So yeah, even if it's just something that helps nouns get together, that would be awesome. But yeah, it's obviously the wider community and how to really like get nouns out there, and then get nouns to basically help other communities to connect. I think that's the most important thing. And then maybe like create content around side events. I think like content wise, like what the Noun Square, the competition was, I think it's pretty relevant. I think it's the the fact that you can actually create content, and then just keep making nounish photos or videos, and then kind of sharing that. I think side events is a great opportunity for people to have a good time, and also like take photos of that nounish moment. So yeah, so those are the kind of ideas I'm thinking about. But yeah, would love any ideas or thoughts around side events if anyone has any experiences.
I did invite a couple. I did invite a couple people up to the stage who've been to a lot of Nouns IRL stuff. So I invited Blooms and Boop. I don't know if you're in an area where you can speak, but maybe they can give some more prescient feedback.
Yeah. Hey, how's it going, guys? Yeah. So
good. Did you have any feedback for X?
Yeah, definitely. So a lot of what you're saying, I wholeheartedly agree with. A lot of being able to link up with different people at events, see what different people are attending. All that kind of stuff is very invaluable, like in the moment, when things are moving very fastly at an event and you're trying to plan the next thing that you're trying to do, and the plan isn't kind of set in stone. So that I definitely would love to see that in there. The whole schedule of events around different Nounish events, that's definitely valuable as well. Yeah, I like all the ideas that you kind of rang out there. I sent you a DM. Would definitely like to jump on like a one-on-one meeting and kind of discuss this further.
Thank you. Appreciate it, Bloom.
Yeah, absolutely.
Martin, I think I might have cut you off by mistake earlier there. Were you going to say something in response to X?
No. Yeah, no, I think that's great. It seems like you have a good understanding of the problem space, actually. So I would it feels like you have a good understanding of the problem. So definitely trust your instinct in terms of getting this built. It feels like you would be a great, like, kind of first user of this app. So just trust your gut.
Yeah, thank you. I definitely need it in my in my own personal experience, and I'm heading to NFT NYC, so I'm planning to use it for sure, and hopefully it'll be useful for nouns and other people as well.
That's awesome. Yeah, I look forward to linking up in the NFT NYC. Definitely can connect you with some people that would be interested in using it as well.
Awesome. Sounds good. Well, Martin, if you don't have anything further about the Hack Week, maybe we can start to wrap things up. It was great to hear from some folks with these ideas and some of your favorites, and make sure everybody gets their ideas in before Sunday. We're almost like hump day here. We're hump day here for Hack Week hump day.
Absolutely. Yeah. And if you have any questions or anything, feel free to DM us, join the Hack Week Discord, and we'll kind of do more stuff in there. And we'll be back here tomorrow and the rest of the week at 9 a.m. I'm going to be traveling, so I might have to miss a couple days, but we'll have someone from ExplorerGrants here every day. So yeah, keep hacking.
Sounds good. In closing, just want to go over what's coming up on TNS, because there's quite a bit of stuff happening today and tomorrow. Coming up in just 20 minutes, we've got the Checkup, which is a weekly space with me and Warren from Network State, where we talk about everything to do with the checks ecosystem, from Jack Butcher, checks and OP-Pens and everything else that's interesting to chat about over there. So join us in about 15 minutes here back in this exact spot for the Checkup. After that, a little bit of a break. Coming back at 5:30 p.m. EST tonight, we've got Brand Buzz with our resident TikToker Nikki, as well as her colleague Justin, where they talk about essentially branding and Web3 NFTs. I really enjoyed it. It's a show that they started doing about 2 weeks ago, and if you haven't tuned in yet, definitely come and give a listen. They've got they do the research. They've got a lot of good news to catch up on. So that's at 5:30 p.m. tonight. At 7 p.m. EST, we've got NounsDAO Amigos in Espanol, a space all about what's going on in the Spanish-speaking world with nouns. So that's super fun. Come and hang with them at 7 p.m. At 8 p.m., we've got Food Noun O'Clock, soapbox all about the Food Nouns project. Join them. They always have a good time as well. That's at 8 p.m. EST. And finally, 10:30 p.m. tonight, we've got the Daily Drop with That's Gnarly. So NounsDAO has a sort of clone almost of Top Shots for extreme athletes. Extreme athletes can film themselves doing a trick, mint it as an NFT, and drop it on That's Gnarly. They do a new one every single day, and they get together at 10:30 p.m. EST on a Spaces to see what's up for that day. So join them if you're interested in extreme sports. Tomorrow morning, I guess it'll be probably close to 11 a.m. I'll have to double check how far we drifted, but around 11 a.m. EST, we're going to have Pablo Stanley back and Marion from Bueno. So they're also from Humankind. You remember we had them on the show to talk about that. Tomorrow, we're going to focus a little bit more on Bueno, their no-code NFT platform, which I've actually used with Boney to launch Unitodes. It's a great platform. We're going to talk with them tomorrow morning about that. And right after that, appended to the end, we'll have Hack FM again. And then I need you guys all to pull out your calendars. Do you guys have calendars like with pens and papers, or do you just use your phone? Whatever it is, pull it out, put it in for tomorrow afternoon, 3:30 p.m. EST. We are hosting Jesse Polak from Coinbase and Base live here on TNS to talk about Base, which is their new layer 2 that they announced recently. It's going to be built on the Optimism stack. It's super exciting. We're going to talk about all that. Jesse Polak is a Nouner as well. We love celebrating Nouners who are doing great things and hearing about what they're working on. So hopefully you guys will join us for that. On that note, if you look up in the nest, swipe over once, you will see that we're doing a little flash contest to share the space tomorrow for Coinbase, the Jesse Polak Coinbase space. All you got to do up there is retweet that tweet, RSVP for tomorrow's space, and comment one question that you have about Base. Very easy, 3 criteria. We're going to choose 2 winners of 0.069 ETH tomorrow, and all you got to do is do that. So check the nest, get your entries in for that. We've already done the POAP. Only thing left to do here is to do the draws for our retweet picker. I've done it. I just need a drum roll, and I'll give it away.
Oh, my thing isn't. There it is.
It sounded like you kind of dropped a plate or something. You're like, oh, geez, oh, goodness.
No, I realized that I accidentally plugged my headphones in so it wouldn't play out loud. But anyway, here, let's do it another one.
It is someone that is always here in our spaces, always commenting on all of our tweets and being generally really great and active in our community, but has the worst possible name, at Forexin. At Forexin. You have won 0.069.
That's my favorite winner every time.
Please change your name. I beg you.
Please never change your name. I love making Tony say it.
You would. All right.
Yeah.
And then, we're going to pick a lucky Nomo winner here to win an edition from our Nomo wallet. Let's make it an Atrium edition, a Nounstown Atrium edition, which, who knows, could be a pretty good thing to have in your wallet once they go and make the entire Nouns movie. This is literally the trailer for the movie in a way that is going to be produced over the next 6 months. So the winner of that trailer NFT is Blockchain Ninja. He just keeps buying Nomos every single day, and he keeps winning.
Yeah. He also outbid me on the Noun, so
you can't hate him. Congratulations, you making me crazy, Blockchain Ninja. You won the lucky Nomo of the day, and that is all we have for you. Geez, we almost ended up with like a 3-hour space again today. We did it yesterday, and we're almost going to run checks here, but I need to go get some breakfast in the next 5 minutes before we come back. Index card, any parting words for anyone? I think you're a very inspirational character in the Noun space, given that you sort of just came in, you brought your art skills to bear to win a competition, then used your prize money to join the Nouns. It inspires me anyway. What would you say to anyone else who's just joining here and trying to figure out their place within Nouns?
For me, sometimes my advice goes opposite of what a lot of people say, but I really took my time. I understood Nouns a little bit. I didn't just rush into everything. I kind of just tried to understand it, take a moment, and then just kind of let things happen around me. That's probably contrary to most advice, but that's the way I roll.
I think that sounds pretty obvious advice to me. I think it's important to go slow and make sure that you understand the culture. And sometimes it's great to go fast and break things, but, you really need to understand the culture and build your reputation and ask for help and all those fun things as well. And guess what? Hack Week is a great time to do that, isn't it, Martin?
Absolutely. This is the week to do it.
Amazing. I want to thank everybody for joining us. And if you're interested in checks and everything that Jack Butcher's doing, join me again here with Warren in about 10 minutes after I scarf down some banana bread. Thanks, everybody, for joining us. It's been a great 9 o'clock live /Hack FM. And I'll play you out, of course, with Hootie and the Blowfish. Who else?
Now on SportsCenter, Union problems.
Oh, I forgot.
Now, Hootie and the
I forgot
Blasters
this
get
video
their own
has like a
NBA
really
franchise.
big preamble.
Gary McCord, Jules the Jewel, Hootie regretting the tunnel of remorse.
We'll skip
taking
ahead.
a decided
We'll
doubt.
skip ahead. We'll skip ahead. There we go. We got there. We got there. I only want to be with you, index card.